Hey, what's up, man? This is my buddy Scott. Say hello.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Scott, just give you a full picture here. Scott's just a pretty average dude. Scott, are you a racist?
No, not one bit at all.
Okay. So Scott works in the food and beverage industry, works around all kind of people, has his whole life. Scott's pretty much a hip hop kid, right?
Yeah.
From like way back in the day,
Yep.
you know. Where are you from originally?
Originally from Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Always liked hip hop, always liked bluegrass. Right back in the days of Wu-Tang Clan, to listening to Nathan Radcliffe and the Night Sweats. Just been a pretty typical guy. 2 months ago.
But you just to establish, like, you've been around black folks
Yeah.
your whole life, worked with black
Yeah.
people your whole
Yeah.
life,
Never
messed
had a problem with them.
around with black chicks, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, I had
so
a girlfriend from Kenya actually one time. So I
Not-
see both sides of it.
not a racist. This is how you dress, pretty much, too, right?
Yeah.
You're not dressed like a
No.
Confederate reenactor
No.
or anything like
It's
that.
always a skateboard T-shirt and khaki pants.
Yeah, and you're from New York, so
Yeah.
you're not like a Southern dude or anything like
No.
that. None of that stuff. So
No.
anyway, you're walking in Charleston, South Carolina a couple weeks ago, and what happened?
I was walking up King Street, past Benny Ravanello's. It was approximately 1:30 in the morning. I was passing. There was another kid out there eating pizza, and out of the blue, I hear this guy go, "Fuck white people," and next thing I know, I get pepper sprayed in the face. As I was running away, this man continued to pepper spray me. At that point, I tripped over the curb. I had broken my phone, and I was wandering around King Street completely blind, reaching while cars were beeping for me. There was two gentlemen from Greenville, South Carolina that were here on a bachelor party that stopped, brought me to the side. When the responding officers came, the whole group party had said that, the kid that was eating pizza along with myself, we were just on our own, doing our
So
own
he
business.
maced the guy eating pizza too.
Yeah, two people. He said, "Fuck white people," and pepper sprayed both of us. At that point, the officers spoke with the manager of Benny Ravanello, spoke with witnesses that were there, black and white, and they both said, unprovoked, this man walked up to me and this kid and just said, "Fuck white people," and pepper sprayed us.
So you didn't even see him, talk to him walking up. You just kind of like turned around and just boom.
That was it.
Yeah.
As I was running away, I did hear him follow me. He kept pepper spraying me in the back of the head. When I went to the hospital, I had chemical burns all down my back, down my neck. My eyes I couldn't see out of. My head was burning. My face was burning. They put two Morgan contact lenses in my eyes, which are like suction cups that are rubber,
Oh,
and they go
geez.
in your eyes. When you blink, you can almost feel them scratching the inside of your eyelids. I sat like that for 4.5 hours. This did get picked up by court. They issued a warrant for this man. He finally got picked up. Today will be my third appearance in court. The first two appearances he didn't show up to, and I was told today that if he shows up and I don't show up, the charges could be dismissed and I would be liable for all my medical bills. So today at 3 o'clock, I have to go show up down to the Lockwood Avenue courthouse and hopefully solve this.
So he hasn't shown up twice.
No.
And still nothing really settled down on him. But if you don't show up once, even though you've shown up twice, and you got to take time off of work and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Time off work, Uber rides. I just
Yeah.
want my hospital bills paid. I just think it's unfair that I incurred several
So and,
thousand
and
dollars.
you're not like super rich, like
No.
you work
No.
back at the house at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You have to take Uber to get to work and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I
you
do
know?
2 jobs. I work 2 jobs. I work approximately 75 to 80 hours a week. I just leased a house today. I'm trying to step forward and do moving forward. And, I'm trying to move into a house today with going to a court case. And now I have to put that off. And I mean, my prized Buffalo Bills are playing today. I'm going to miss that at 5 o'clock. It kind of upsets
That might
me.
be a good thing if
I
you miss
know.
that, though.
I mean, I
you
gotta-
know, might not ruin your day.
Yeah, I got just a lot of stuff going on. And, it just shows, with the actions going on, that one person made an action to make a stand, but he completely chose an innocent victim. And, I
Yeah.
had to deal with that. I had to lose out of work for a day. I had to deal with sitting in a hospital until 6 a.m. And now it's just, I feel like I'm getting re-victimized by telling, the
Yeah.
prosecutor says, if you don't show up to court and he asks for a dismissal, the judge is going to grant it.
So in general, would you say that you think that the stuff that's happened, that police have definitely overstepped things across
yeah.
the years?
Right.
They've done terrible things, and you kind of stand with that, like, hey, these cops
Yeah.
need to be reined in, and
Yes.
the Black Lives Matter in general, with all that kind of stuff.
Right. I agree.
But you got hit by, this person took that to a different level.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And it's kind of like, that person obviously strongly feels that same way that you feel, but it's kind of bad. It seems like they've taken it and re-victimized somebody not only that's innocent, but that's pretty much on the same side of opinion with all that stuff.
I agree with the same side of the opinion, and it's just, the guys I work with, and I told them that, and they're like, it's pretty fucked up what happened, and I don't think it should happen to anybody like that. And this is not the first time that this man's done this. And
you were saying something about that before. So apparently around Charleston, this guy's done this 3 or 4 other times, is what the cops are saying.
Yeah, and because it was not considered a serious injury because I regained my sight, they can't pursue him with a felony charge. It's just a misdemeanor charge, and that's it. He's gonna get a slap on the wrist. I'm going a little bit of probation until next time this happens, and hopefully there won't be a next one. If it's a lady, what if I got hit by a car? I'm sitting there blind, you hear people honking, and they're like, what are you doing in the street? And I can't see, I'm screaming. And if it wasn't for those 2 guys from Greenville to help me to the curb, I don't even know if I'd be even here. We're getting hit by a car, people are drunk driving and stuff, and it's just, when the police came, they were like, why? And that guy took off and ran like a coward. And I sat there and I tried explaining to them, and they're like, can you tell me which way, can you point the direction? I'm like, point what? I go, I can't even see out of my eyes, they're worried about that. I go, just get me an ambulance. And after the ambulance ride, the hospital bills.
How much in hospital bills?
It's right around $3,700 with the ambulance ride, with all the saline, with all the stuff that they gave me, the painkillers, everything, and it's just something that I can't afford it. And my insurance, the deductible, they're saying, if you want your insurance to cover it, you're gonna have to pay the deductible. And I don't want to pay a deductible for someone else's problems. I want this solved. I want this settled. I just want, if you incur to damage me, pay your damage, and that's it. I mean, if it was settled up and I got my bills paid for by him, I wouldn't even care that, we don't have to take it this far, but you incurred a financial debt into my life that I did not want. And now I have hospitals calling me up. I have people calling me, I have collectors calling me over this bill. And I've never had debt for anything. I mean, my debt right now is about $100 that I owe out to a Snap-on from back in 2005. I was Snap-on $100. That's it. It's the only debt I have in my life.
Why don't you take care of Snap-on? What you got against Snap-on?
I just bought some tools and I forgot to pay. I moved them to North Carolina from them. But
now, be honest. You did this on purpose so you could get the painkiller prescription. Be honest.
No,
it was totally.
Trust me, we had Morgan.
It wasn't worth getting maced in the eyes.
Having a piece of plastic in your eyes, and when you close it, just itching, scratching the inside your eyelids. And when you pull them out, and you can feel them bruise for the next 3 days.
Ugh.
And I have to go to work because nobody else is going to pay my bills. No one else is going to give me money and fund me. Yeah. So when I do that and I'm at work and these people see me, my eyes are just puffed out and they're red. And I got my boss like, hey man, did you smoke some weed today? I'm like, no. I'm like, this is what happened. And he's like, man, that really sucks, that happened. And it just shows that when you need somebody there, they show up, but then they ask me like I was the victim. And where did he go? What's going on? Why are you pursuing this? Is it really necessary that you go to the hospital?
Who was asking you that?
That was the police who were asking me that. And I said, yes, it's necessary.
Really?
I can't see.
Wow.
And after
that, I mean, you don't want to mess up. Yeah, I mean, most of the time people recover from pepper spray, but you can have allergies to that. Like your body chemistry can react really, really bad to it sure.
I remember the girl that was at Benny's when it happened. She was out hosing the front patio off, and I just sat there. And she just soaked me with water. When I got to the hospital, I almost got threatened to be arrested. For I was standing there, and I go in the ER, and they said, lay here. My eyes were on fire, and I could just barely see a sink. And I turned it on. And I just kept splashing water in my face. And the water started flooding out the ER. And the security guard came in and goes, we could arrest you for destroying property. And I said, no. I said, my eyes are on fire, and you're not producing anything for me. And I kept putting water on my face. And they go, if you keep doing that, we're going to have to detain you to the bed. Because I was upset and I just wanted the pain to go away. It was one of the most horrible experiences I've ever been through in my life. Just for somebody else to say, I gained something because I went and fought back and I did what was needed to do.
Yeah.
You did something to an innocent victim that had nothing to do with.
What do you think? What do you think the solution is to all this strife people are going through? Like, makes this guy. Ultimately, even this guy who I'm sure you don't have any kind of like or love for, but
no, I think it's just education.
He's ultimately like super pissed and upset about what's going on. I mean, what would you say to this guy if he watches this video?
I mean, I'd say, educate yourself. You destroyed a week of my life. You've taken 3 days away from me working. I've paid countless amounts of Uber rides. I'm probably looking at paying another $60 a day in Uber rides. $30 down to the courthouse, $30 back in rush hour traffic.
Well, so this guy would probably say that's a small price to pay or whatever for what's going on to black people. I mean, what do you think's the solution with the strife? Like, I mean, would you say that there should be some reform with police? There should be
I think it should be more transparent. I think, in my opinion, if you come from that community, I think you should be given first dibs to be a police officer of that community. If you were born and raised on Hanover Street in Charleston, South Carolina, rather than put you in North Charleston, have you work as a cop on Hanover Street in South Carolina, be around the kids that you were raised around, continue that community. Don't bring people in from out of state. When you start looking at ex-military guys that met a kid from California, and now they come here and they work as a police officer and they have no attachment to our community. They're here to come and do a job and go home. But when you have people from the community that care and keep going further and further and further, that's what I think we should take precedent on, is that if you're from South Carolina and you want to be a cop, you should have the first priority to be a cop in your own city, rather than going out and working for a different city like Charlotte or going out and working for Atlanta. We have so many people here with such great talent, and I think that if more people focused on our community rather than the big picture, one community at a time changes the whole world.
Yeah, that's true. Well, man, that's a crazy story, and on one hand, it's a cautionary tale to people, like, be aware of your surroundings, no matter who you think you are, because I don't think you present as anybody that would be called. I've known this guy for a long time. I don't think, and again, I mean, this is how Scott looks all the time, just Vans and skate gear or whatever. Like, doesn't present as like white supremacist type dude or anybody that's about it. In fact, pretty much quite the opposite, and supports a lot of that stuff, and works in a industry and in a community that is a very mixed and like tolerant, open-minded type community. And even if you're somebody that's like that, whether you're black or white or whatever you might be, these times there's crazy stuff happening. You got to be very aware of your surroundings at all times, because there are some people out there, they might be on one side or the other of this argument. When somebody, it doesn't matter what side of the argument they're on, and it doesn't matter what side of the argument you're on, but when somebody gets so triggered and so stimulated that they're going to take action like that, it doesn't matter if they're on the right or the left, they're going to take action, and they're going to make a decision. Might not be based on anything that means anything, but there's people out there very capable of taking direct harmful action against you, regardless of how you feel about something. So just be aware of your surroundings. And I guess the other thing from a story like this, just to see too, is like, everyday people are doing things to other everyday people that are really causing a lot of harm. So although a lot of these problems are bigger problems that come from history, centuries of history maybe, and this, that, and the other thing, that's where these problems come from. But a lot of the problems happening today are just individuals hurting other individuals, and that's the one thing. You can't control the past. You can barely control the present. Who knows about the future? But you can control what you do today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%, Tom. That's very well said.
Anyway, what you gonna do? Go Bills!
Yes, go Bills!
You guys out there, hit the thumbs up button on the video to try to and put out some prayers for the Bills tonight, so this man could at least have some pride in his Buffalo Bills.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.